DaRond Bland breaks the single season pick six record. Are the Eagles the best team, or are they just really lucky? Was the Texans game rigged? Kenny Pickett and the Steelers go over 400 total yards of offense, and the Ravens are atop of the AFC after week 12. Episode 13 starts now. Good evening, good afternoon, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome to episode 13 of the Two Dudes podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Freak.
And I'm Babs. Week 12 is in the books, so let's talk about it.
What a interesting week 12 we had. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, ate a shit ton of turkey and ham and dressing and all the works.
Oh, yeah.
We had 3 games on Thanksgiving, and then we had a first ever Black Friday game. We're not going to talk about the Black Friday game, of course. There's not much to talk about when it comes to that. But what we'll do is we'll start with one of the most recent games that we have to memory. And I believe that is a Sunday night game. Ravens versus the Chargers. The Ravens have the best record in the AFC at 9-3.
Chargers are looking soft this year.
Bro, Brandon Staley's probably getting fired at the end of the year. He's been there for 3 years. His record as a head coach is 23-22. They've made the playoffs once and blew a 27-point lead for the Jacksonville Jaguars last year.
It's like Austin Eckler is one of the best running backs in the league.
And you got one of the best young quarterbacks in the league.
And they can't get nothing going.
Nothing. like Herbert, there's only so much Herbert. There's only so much that the players on that team can do when their coaching staff, and I'm not blaming the entire coaching staff, I'm mainly just putting the blame on Brandon Staley, because he's the head coach. You make all final decisions. You don't coach the Dallas Cowboys, so you don't have to answer to Jerry Jones. So your owner or general manager is not preventing you from making decisions.
Yep.
So play calling needs to be better. Overall, Brandon Staley needs to do a better job because he's got the team. He's had the team for 3 straight seasons. The type of team that the Chargers have, or the players that they have on their roster, everyone or anyone could easily argue that the last 3 years that they've had one of the best teams that probably could have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they have a great team. It's just they're not doing nothing with it.
On paper, they match up well against a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the play calling and then some execution isn't coming into it's not going in their favor. Like, they're probably the only team that they are the only team that has a losing record that they could easily be undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of their losses have been by 1 score. So I haven't really seen the Chargers get blown out at all this year. Maybe the one time that they played Kansas City in Kansas City.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm leaning towards the Chargers making a coaching change at the end of the year. I mean, because their season's over. What are they? 4-8.
4-7.
4-7. So I mean, they're 4-7. They would have to win the rest of their games and hope Pittsburgh, Houston, Cleveland, and the Colts all lose the last 5 of their games. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, I can already tell you that the Steelers are going to win at least 3 more games.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And 2 of those are division opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not really looking too good, I would say, for Brandon Staley. Not much I can really say about Herbert and the team. I mean, he's done nothing but produce his entire career. He does the one thing that you can argue that doesn't make him the greatest quarterback is that he's had 1 playoff game and he lost, which he probably should have won easily. I mean, and then you just look on the other side of the field with Baltimore. They're starting to put it all together. Their defense is starting to play faster. They're running from sideline to sideline. Lamar Jackson isn't having to. I'm assuming he wants to throw the ball with the statement he made at the beginning of the year, but he doesn't necessarily. It's not all on him anymore.
Yeah, no, they're actually playing good. We said that he needed a good squad around him.
Isaiah Likely,
Zay Flowers. I mean, OBJ is helping him a lot.
like it's not just. It used to only be we go as far as Lamar can take us.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year, it kind of looked like that.
Yeah, it looked like that's how it was going to start, but
Or at least in their 3 losses.
I think they're a well-balanced team right now.
Oh, definitely. They're Zay Flowers. That kid, he's starting to get in a rhythm. He's gaining some momentum.
Yeah,
People need to
really good.
People need to watch out with this kid because you see what Tyreek Hill did in Kansas City and what he's doing in Miami. Zay Flowers they're probably the same height, but Tyreek's bigger. He's more bulky. Mm-hmm. Give Zay Flowers the tenure that fucking Hill has, and they're going to be the same exact receiver.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that touchdown run that he had when they sent him in motion, that looked exactly. When I watched that, I was like, "That's fucking Hill. That's Tyreek Hill."
Yeah, he's gonna be dangerous.
Extremely. extremely dangerous. And the fact that he's starting to make his impact in every single game these last 4 weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah, he really is too.
Like he's going to be on the moon once the season's over and they're in the playoffs. He's going to be fully locked in and ready to go. Baltimore they're starting to look pretty dominant the latter half of the year and everything, but will that transition into the playoffs? Because I mean, it's the same question for a lot of quarterbacks that are successful in the regular season. Lamar's only won one playoff game, I think, or he's 0-2. I have no idea because he hasn't been in the playoffs that many times. So it's going to be very interesting how the AFC turns out, because there's just so many teams that are fighting for playoff spots.
Yeah, it's
a
tight race.
The one seed keeps flopping. It was Kansas City before this week started, and then Kansas City and Jacksonville both win. So Jacksonville takes the top spot, which I don't know how. And then the Ravens haven't played yet. The Ravens play, they win. Now the Ravens are the one seed, obviously, because they've got one extra game on their belt because they don't have a bye week until coming up.
Yeah,
they have one of the latest bye weeks.
Yeah, this week's their bye.
I mean, imagine getting your schedule for the year, knowing that you have to play 12 games before you get your bye week.
I mean, that's good for them, though. They get a
no, it is, because if you're 9-3 like they are, that's huge. Mm-hmm. Because you're getting rest at the most crucial time in the year.
Yep.
Where it's gonna matter the most. Your body is gonna feel the most. It's cold. Like your body takes more punishment in the cold. So, like couldn't have been a better time to have a bye week. I would prefer having a bye week this late in the season than having one early or in the middle. Let's stay within your division, because I know you want to talk about the Steelers. Kenny Pickett and the Steelers finally have over 400 total yards of offense.
I was so hyped. You have no idea. It's crazy. Like it was good. Kenny Pickett threw for 278. I mean, he threw really good.
Right.
What I like is what they're doing with their running back situation. They're playing who's hot. Jaylen Warren's hot one week. They keep feeding him. Najee Harris was hot this week. They just kept feeding him. And I like how they're doing that. It's when you have two backs that can play. When one's hot, the other one's not. Cool. Just feed the other one. Right now, since week 9, Jaylen Warren has the most rushing yards in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Najee Harris is tied for 5th most. So both of their running backs are top 5 in yards since week 9.
Your run game starting to get a little bit more traction.
That the play calling looked good. The only thing I could say is we got to finish drives.
Right.
We should have easily had probably 28 points easily.
I mean,
but we just didn't finish some drives.
Like the one thing, like, I think the most that's being talked about, like, even though y'all only won by 6 points, how the offense looked compared to the entirety of the season was a breath of fresh air, bro.
It was completely different.
I of course, like, with me working overnights and everything, I sleep through the early games, or have been here recently. So I didn't get to watch this game, but I watched the highlights. Y'all are running the same offense, but the play calling is so different.
Yeah, the same offense is just about the play calling.
Like, I don't know who's calling y'all's plays. I don't know if it was the quarterback's coach or
I
whoever
believe
y'all
it's
promoted,
Sullivan calling plays, and
Sullivan.
then
Well,
I
he's
think he's
calling
calling the plays,
plays.
and Faulkner is Well, you got to think Sullivan's called plays before.
Right. But the plays he's calling are going off the situation that's in front of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, y'all are still running Matt Canada's vanilla ass offense. And some of the play calls, I would say, in the highlights that I watch can be a little predictable. But it's y'all are disguising certain things. I mean, y'all are doing it
Yeah.
different. The way that he is calling the game compared to Canada is the reason why y'all snapped a 10-game streak of being outgained.
What's scary right now is we're 7-4, and our offense just started clicking.
Exactly.
That's what's scary. Is our offense, and we're not even there. Wasn't even full potential. We were playing probably 75% of what we can play,
Right.
and we're 7-4 right now.
Y'all have
And
one
we
of the
just
best
put up,
records in the AFC.
and our defense is dominating, and our offense is now catching traction.
Hmm.
I don't want to get too overhyped. I want to see it more than 1 week in a row. But whoa, if they could start putting up points this late in the season, I'm just saying.
I
What
mean,
you
y'all
know,
are what? Y'all are what? A game and a half out of first from Baltimore.
if we
2
win,
games.
we're 1 game back if we win this week.
Yeah, so you still are a game and a half.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
because of the bye. So the funny part is, Jamar Chase talks so much shit this week.
He
He was
did.
put, he was
He
going to put on a show.
he
He said
said
he
it
was
did.
going to
He
put
said
on
it
a
didn't
show.
matter who was the quarterback.
Yeah, he said he was going to put on a show. Joey Porter Jr. covered him for 24 snaps. And those
Locked him down.
24 snaps, Chase had 2 catches for under 40 yards.
Yeah. He only had 4 catches for 81.
Mm-hmm. And 2 of those were balls that were batted up, and he just luckily got to them.
Right. I mean, it's
the only thing I will say about Joey Porter is he's a little handsy, so he gets called on some stuff. But you know what? I can live with that as a rookie. That's gonna go away. Him being handsy will go away, but he's becoming a lockdown.
mm-hmm.
And Peterson is not playing bad on the other side.
No.
Everybody was worried, and I was worried too because he's older.
Yeah, he's an older vet.
He's
I
like
think it
getting
just
a
took
second
this. It
win.
just took him longer in the season.
It took him a couple. Yeah, it took him a couple weeks to get going, but it's like he's getting a second win. He's playing lights out too.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, he's in his mid 30s, high 30s, late 30s. I mean,
and we haven't had Minka Fitzpatrick. He's been out. He's supposed to be coming back this week.
yeah. I mean,
Thompson,
you're getting your top safeties. I mean,
and then Thompson was a fill-in. Why he was hurt, and what's his face was hurt. I can't even think of his name now. But Thompson had a pick this week. He's playing good too, and they pulled him up from the practice squad.
mm-hmm.
Like we're just playing like their defensive roster is pretty solid, and it's deep too. Now the offense is starting to
I will
get
say,
going and tracking.
I'll say this: I do need to see. I need to see more of. I need to see more of what they did against the Bengals, their offense.
Yes,
For me to feel comfortable with them going into the playoffs.
absolutely.
Even if they don't, say y'all don't have another 400-yard game, but y'all still put up like 380 yards in these next 5 games in each of them or whatever, I'm going to have more confidence that y'all's defense is going to be able to continue that than expecting your offense to just have tremendous strides in the postseason.
My biggest complaint all season was they aren't taking shots down the field.
No.
How many weeks in a row was our longest pass to a 20-yard pass and it was a screen to Warren?
Like 8.
Like right? So he started off a game with a 25-yard down the middle of the field to Pat Fryermuth, threw a 29-yarder, a 43-yarder, a 39-yarder. Like he was throwing down the field. That's what I want to see. Like he was throwing down the field, and he was throwing that. I mean, he's got to work on his accuracy.
Right.
He was missing some shots he shouldn't have missed,
Mm-hmm.
but he was taking the shots. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with. He's gonna miss some.
There's some
Like,
other plays to where like he's jumping his reads too soon. Like he's going through his progression way
mhm.
too fast.
Yeah, he is going through too fast. Still second year. I'm okay with that. It's
I mean, yeah,
room. It's
he's a young
room. He's
quarterback.
got room
He's
for
still growing.
improvement. Um, but I think, and that's what I was saying is I'm not gonna get too excited because they did good this week. I need to see it multiple weeks.
Right.
Um,
And I mean, what else can you ask for from a second year quarterback who might not be playing the greatest football, but y'all are winning?
and honestly, I think with the combination they have of Faulkner and Sullivan, one running the offensive offense and then one calling the plays, bro. If they keep playing like that, just keep them two motherfuckers. Like, apparently, it wasn't the offensive scheme that was bad. It was the play calling that was bad. Like
Right.
they're letting Najee Harris run downhill. Like there's no reason for him to run draw plays. He's a big back. Let him get some speed before they hand him the ball, and they were doing that. Man, ran 99 yards. Was running all over them.
Yeah.
So I just want to see more of that. If we can see that multiple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Y'all are
I
very dangerous.
I don't want to
Very,
get too
very dangerous.
excited yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be good.
All right, we'll stay within the AFC for for this third topic. Um, was the Texans game rigged?
I
I
don't think
s-
it
I watched the highlights, of course, because I didn't see the game. Um, it was back and forth, but then when I watched the replay on NFL Plus, there were some questionable calls that were made the entire game, and
But that's been
that's the
every
only
game
reason
this
why.
year. That's been every
Right,
NFL game this year.
right.
There's questionable calls all the time. I mean,
That's the only reason why I'm asking this question is because once saw the game and I was like, That's a lot. These calls are kind of questionable. Like for I understand that it's been happening to every team this year. There were a lot in this game. I still don't think the game was rigged because at the end of the day, the Texans still had a chance to win.
yeah, they still
Um,
they could have won that game. They should
so
have won that game. They should. They're. I don't know. I thought they were going to come back and drive it down the field to win, and
right. I mean,
they kind
he
of failed on that.
tying field goal literally hit the crossbar.
Yeah,
And it just didn't have the right bounce. If you hit it on the right side of the crossbar, it goes in. We go to overtime. They probably win the
he would
game.
another yard. He has it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yard and a half. He has that.
But I mean,
Trevor Trevor Lawrence balled out.
yeah. I mean,
I
both
mean,
quarterbacks played well.
that's
I mean,
these
this game was back and forth. It was
these two are going to battle in their division a lot coming over the next few years.
mm-hmm.
Both young teams, and they're both already playing this well. They're going to be battling.
No, it's gonna be interesting to see how this division plays out because you have
And then Houston,
Houston
Indy.
and the Colts both at 6-5.
Yeah, like you got three teams right there. We were just talking about this. There could be three teams from the AFC North and three teams. No,
Be
it
two
could be
teams.
two teams.
It'd be
Like they
Pittsburgh
can
and Baltimore.
those two divisions. Those two divisions. No, they three teams from the North. Yeah, there could be five of the playoff teams could
Are you
come out of
saying
there.
Cleveland? Are you saying Cleveland comes out of your division as well?
Cleveland. It's going to be either Cleveland or the Texans or Colts. Like Baltimore's for sure going to make it. Jacksonville is for sure going to make it. Then it could be Steelers, Cleveland, Indy, Colts. Any of those four teams can make it. All the wild card teams could come out of the North and the South. The way they're all playing.
Yeah. I mean,
Colts are playing
as
good.
it's
Texans are playing good.
As it is right now, you have 3 teams out of the North and 2 teams out of the South.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's probably how it's going to end.
Yeah. I don't think Buffalo's making the playoffs this year.
No, probably not.
I really don't.
They've got Dallas coming up. I think Dallas is gonna. I think that's gonna be a good game. I think Dallas matches up well against them.
And we both thought the Bills would win their division.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep. Very. All right. Enough of the AFC. Let's talk about the Eagles. Are they really the best team, or are they just lucky?
I don't think, man. Honestly, they should have lost that game.
I'm gonna say it's a little bit of both.
It is.
I'm not gonna.
I mean,
Even
but
though I
honestly,
hate the Eagles.
honestly, you could be the best team in the league, but you're not going to have all those wins without some kind of luck. You're going to have
Right.
some lucky plays.
Right.
Like, they're lucky they walked out of that game and won.
Right. Like
They shouldn't have.
no.
Like, they got lucky to win that game in
Mm-hmm.
overtime. Like we just said, the Bills are playing like dog shit this year. I mean, I'm not saying they're the worst team in the NFL. I'm just saying they're not playing like a top caliber team.
No, they're not playing like they
And the
have the
Eagles
last few years.
barely beat them.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
Barely.
like the total yards of offense is staggering. Like Bills had over 500 yards.
Mm-hmm.
They had 5 more first downs.
They had time of possession was 14 minutes more for the Bills.
Yeah.
They
Like
should have won that game.
that's been the story for the Eagles the past 4 games. They have been dominated on both sides of the ball from start to finish. Or they're finding ways to win these games.
Mhm.
I think it's about to start come crashing down.
Yeah,
I think
they're going to lose their next 2 games.
yeah, they're gonna lose.
I really do.
Yeah, I don't see them beating Dallas at home with the way that they're playing. If Hurts comes into Dallas and he only has a total of 24 passing yards in the first half against us, I'm expecting the score to be 24-7
Yeah, I don't.
or 17-7 like it was for the Eagles and the Bills.
Yeah,
Because
I don't. They like I said, they barely got through. I don't think they should have won that game.
they shouldn't have
They
beaten the
are a good
Chiefs.
team. Don't get me wrong; they're a really good team, but they are getting some luck that's fallen in their lap,
Mm-hmm.
and it's working out for them, and they're taking advantage of it.
Like, they could easily be 8-3.
I don't feel like they're playing as dominating as they were last year. I feel like they played more
Oh no.
dominating last year.
Oh yeah, their defense was a lot better than last year.
Yeah, you could see their weaknesses this year. Last year they were playing solid all the way around.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think the 49ers, because they're a 3-point underdog at home
Mm-hmm.
to the Niners. I think the
Yep.
Niners coming in fully healthy, they're gonna smack the Eagles around a little bit.
Yeah,
And
and the Niners
they're gonna
defense is
come into
no
Dallas
joke.
reeling.
Yeah, the Niners defense is not a joke.
No, they're not. They're not. You have to be able to put up points against them.
Because the Niners will put up points on you.
Yes. I'll even say this. Compare when Dallas played the Niners, our defense is 10 times better now than when we were when we first played them. So I'm more confident, even if we don't win our division, I'm more confident in Dallas beating either one of these teams on the road. Because the one thing that my defense does better than both of those defense, we score points.
And what it is people are limiting AJ Brown.
Yeah. he hasn't really done much the past 4 weeks.
He hasn't put up over 70 yards in like 3 or 4 weeks. I think this week he was like 30 some yards. The week before that he was at like 7 or 8, and the week before that he was at like 60.
Yeah, he only had 60 against Dallas.
The last time he put over 100 yards was against the Commanders,
Mm-hmm.
and they barely beat them.
Yeah,
So
like it's it's crazy. They're barely beating these teams that they should dominate. So I'm just like that's where my bias comes into play because everyone knows I'm a Cowboys fan.
yeah, and like I said, Eagles are a fucking good team. Don't get me wrong; they're a
Yes,
marvelous team, but
they're not.
they're
They're
not
not
as
a true 10
they're
and
not
1.
the
They're
they're
not a
not
true 10 and 1. No,
no they're
no. They can easily be
they
8-3 or 7-4
eight
right now.
easily, and they've had some luck that's bounced their way, and they capitalized off
From
of it.
the start of the season.
Yeah, they've
The
capitalized off
teams with losing records that they should destroy, they're barely beating them. Barely. They beat
They
the 2-9, 2-8 Patriots by 5 points.
yep.
They beat the 4-8 Commanders by a total of 6 points for both those games combined.
Yep.
So I mean, and then you have other teams that haven't beaten a winning team, but the teams that they're supposed to dominate, they are. So I don't know. The Eagles have been very lucky this year, but they are still a really good team.
Yeah, they're just they're getting luck rolls and they're capitalizing on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They're executing and making plays when they need to. They're not just they've had one game to where they dominated start to finish, and that was against Tampa. And there's still a possibility that Tampa might have had a chance to come back in that game.
yeah.
But I digress. Gonna be, but I will. We're both on. I think a lot of people are having the same talk that we are. That it's the Eagles will probably lose their next 2 games,
I think so.
and Dallas and the Niners and Eagles are all going to be tied at 10-3. And the Niners are going to be the 1 seed because they beat both of us. I think Dallas takes the division, even if we split with Philly. I think Dallas takes the division just based off of our marginal victory.
Right.
Because there's a lot of things that are going to have to take into consideration if we end the year tied.
Right.
Same record, and we split
Yeah.
our games against each other. So, going to be very interesting coming down the stretch for both conferences. Starting to get each game is becoming more and more important.
Yeah.
Well, continuing talking about the Cowboys, talk about DaRond Bland.
This motherfucker.
He
is
breaks
crazy.
the single season record for his 5th pick 6 of the season.
This man is a monster right now. He is fucking playing lights out. He is playing out of his fucking mind.
Bland and Prescott helped Cowboys to their 13th straight home win. They have 7 wins this year by 20 or more points. Granted, all of those wins are against losing teams. But what's expected from a really good team when they face a bad team?
They smoke them.
You're supposed to beat the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I can go through all of their wins, and the marginal victory is 20 points or more.
Yeah.
First game of the year, 40-0.
They put 25 points up in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Like,
Week 2, 30-10. We'll ignore week 3 because that was just an aberration. If Diggs doesn't get hurt, we're 9-2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots 38-3. Forget about the Niners. We beat the Chargers by 3. That's the only win we don't have by 20 points.
All your wins are big wins.
Like
Except for the Chargers.
yeah, I mean we're just destroying the opponents that we're supposed to destroy. We're doing
And
that.
all your losses are close games minus the 49ers game.
Minus the Niners. And I'm just like, we played like shit against the Niners. I'm just chalking that. I'm just erasing that from my memory because how my defense and how Prescott has responded since then. The only team we've given up 20 points to were the Eagles.
I did see RG3 and I liked when I heard this because a lot of people give Dak shit. And I've seen 3 times this week that Dak got praised. Aaron Rodgers said that Dak Prescott is one of his favorite quarterbacks to watch.
Yep, he said that today on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. Stephen A said that he's proud of Dak. I didn't catch all of it, but he was.
He said that he's
him.
proud because Dak was in an interview today and he said he hasn't done shit. Meaning he hasn't won an MVP.
Is that what it was?
Yes, or an NFC title game or a Super Bowl. That's why Stephen A said
I only caught a part of that. And then I saw RG3 saying Dak was playing at a higher level than Jalen Hurts.
He is.
And I'm glad to see people are actually start like look, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I think Dak's a good quarterback. I think he's a damn good quarterback.
He's playing the best in his career right now.
Yeah, this is the best I've ever seen him play.
And I think a lot of that has to do with his skill set, his dedication, his leadership, and the fact that a lot of good things are going right in his life right now. Like, people don't understand that the struggle and all the shit that Dak went through in his life. Losing his mother at a young age, dealing with that.
7th year?
His 8th.
8th year?
Yeah.
So he's becoming that mature person.
Oh, yeah. He lost his brother to suicide a few years ago. He opened up about his own depression. And the greatest thing that could ever happen to a man that has seen a lot of struggle and heartaches in his life is to become a father. And I think what's been happening in his life recently with his girlfriend, his personal life, now revealing that he's a dad, that has a lot to do with his play on the field. Mm-hmm. Because you can't just say that, oh, he's just playing well. And there's a lot more to that. He's got the skill set to play well, but I mean, he's what's going on in his personal life could affect that.
He's just all around, and just everything's clicking for him. It seems like right now he's on pace to break all career highs this season.
Yeah, since
it's the highest completion percentage he's ever had. He's on pace to set the most yards. I think he's
most touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah, he's going like
he's never had.
He's setting career highs this year.
Yeah, he's never had a 40 touchdown season. He's on pace to get 45.
Most is
45, almost 50.
And he's only got 6 picks.
Yeah,
like come on.
He
only played 12 games last year and had 15.
Right.
This man is balling out of fucking control right now.
He's played 13 this year and he's got 6.
Yeah, like he's
since that week 5 game against the Niners, he's 18 touchdowns to 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's playing out of his fucking mind right now.
And he's first in every single category amongst every quarterback. Since week 5, no matter if you love him or hate him, or think he's a good quarterback or not, or that he can't, or you need to see it in the big moments, it doesn't matter if it's not a big moment or not. Over the totality of the season, he has been the best quarterback in the NFL. Hands down. Since, out of all the things they were wanting to see from Dak Prescott this year. He is doing that, and they're still trying to find reasons to discredit him.
That's
Oh, it's
everybody.
against. They haven't played anybody. Who fucking cares?
He's
But
playing really well. I think people are gonna hate.
there's 32 teams in the NFL, and I didn't know St. Petersburg High was one of them.
Yeah, it's
They don't play high schoolers, and I'll harp on what Michael Irvin said on NFL Sunday. He's getting pissed off because people keep saying, well, they haven't played anybody. We're in a professional league. Like if you're good enough to get paid to play a professional sport, you're not a scrub. You might not be a starter material, but you are good enough to get paid to play a professional sport.
mm-hmm.
So this
I
notion that
think
we're
he's a
not
good
playing
quarterback.
anybody is stupid. Because what were they saying about the Giants before the start of this year? Oh, the Giants have a chance of winning this division.
Yeah, no shot. I don't know why.
What? Because they won 9 games last year? Okay.
Yeah.
Look at them now. Like teams are the way that they are for certain reasons. The Giants don't know how to pay the right players, and you get an offensive line. There's a lot of things that go into making a bad team a bad team.
The funny part is DeVito's playing better than any quarterback they've had this year.
Exactly.
That's so crazy. Fucking crazy.
He's won the most games.
Yeah, like.
Or he's tied the most wins with fucking he's won the most. Because Daniel Jones won 1. Tyrod Taylor won 1. DeVito's won 2.
Yeah,
It's I don't know. It's never gonna stop, but it just gets really annoying. The disrespect that Prescott is getting, especially this year.
And what people are failing to realize, a lot of the disrespect that Prescott gets, it's not because of him. It's because of who he plays for.
Exactly.
People hate Jerry Jones.
It's not even that. Like Stephen A. will say
people hate Jerry Jones. I fucking hate Jerry Jones.
He doesn't. He doesn't hate he doesn't hate the Cowboys.
But a lot of
he hates the Cowboy fans.
A lot of the issues that and shit talking that Dak's getting is because he plays for the Cowboys and Jerry Jones.
Definitely. That's
people don't like Jerry Jones.
That's all. That's exactly where it's all coming from.
And and that's where it comes from. It's just because of who he plays for.
Mm-hmm.
And like he could be the best quarterback in the league, but people are gonna hate him because where he plays. That's all it is. See, you root for your franchise. The team you like is a franchise that everybody fucking hates. I root for the franchise I root for. Everybody loves, unless you're in Cleveland or Baltimore.
I wouldn't go that far.
There's less hate on the Steelers than there are Cowboys.
Yes, I would agree there.
A lot less.
I would agree there. Dallas has a fair share of love hate.
More hate.
No.
A lot of people hate Dallas.
A lot of people hate Dallas, but there's
a lot of people hate Dallas.
I still think that there's more Cowboys fans than haters.
Well, that goes with every franchise, though.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that hate Dallas fucking hate Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hate Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
enough about Prescott. Let's talk about Bland. Let's give him his flowers and his like 5 or 10 minutes here real fast before we move on to the power rankings. Yeah, he breaks the record for most pick six in a single season, and we still have 5 games left.
That's great, dude. He's been playing so good.
Bro, what?
He's really playing good.
I
mean,
I I, I look I look like a fool. I'm gonna say this. I look like a
you
fool
did because you were
because
trash talking him at the beginning of
no,
the
I
season.
wasn't. I wasn't trash talking him. I was just saying that. I was just saying that Dallas needed another corner. I just
Yeah,
didn't
you
think
were
that
trash
he
talking
was.
him. You're like, let's bring
No,
in Sertan
no,
because playing is ass. And I was like, no.
no. I did
And
not
I
say
said,
that.
bro, no.
I did
Bland is a
not
good
say
enough
that. I
quarterback.
did not say that.
That's how the conversation went.
No, that is not what I said. I did not say he was ass. He, man, he. We're fixing to have $200 million corners playing for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like there's no way in his second year that he does this and he doesn't get the same kind of contract that Diggs has, because it's exactly what Diggs did. Diggs just didn't. It's just different. Diggs had 13 picks and like 2 or 3 pick sixes. He's at 6 picks, but 5 of them he's returned for a touchdown. So the difference between the two of them is, yeah, they're ball hawks, but one of them is turning them into points. So they're both very valuable to have.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I think with him
he,
and Diggs together, it's gonna. And then you got Gilmore.
yeah, if he stays, like him, Diggs, Gilmore, oh my God.
Is it the last year of Gilmore's contract?
Yeah, I think he only signed a 1-year deal. I don't really know the
Because it's
contract
gonna come
details.
to a point they're gonna be like, we don't really need him.
I know that they traded for him.
I mean,
So.
it might come to a point where they're like, we don't really need him to stay. We got Diggs coming back, and then
Right,
fucking Bland.
but you never know. He might want to. He might want
Yeah,
to. He
might,
might
and he
want
just might
to.
have fucking ridiculous ass corners.
Right. I mean, depending on how our season ends this year, if we go far, like say we get to the NFC title game, and
Yeah,
we
he may
lose to
stay.
either Philly or the Niners.
But if he's a free agent, they might not sign him.
True.
They might just be like, look, we don't need you.
Right.
Unless you're going to come in and play in this backup role or a nickelback. Which he might do.
It's possible. I don't think.
I mean,
I don't think that. I think it's possible.
yeah, that's one of them things. It's like, you don't know how that's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
It could go multiple in many ways.
Yeah, it can go pretty much anywhere. All right, well, that wraps up our first segment with our 5 topics and everything. I don't know, man. This getting pretty interesting. These games are. I would definitely say that this season has been a lot more interesting than last year.
Yeah.
A lot of unexpected things are happening.
I honestly wish the NFC's playoff hunt was as interesting as the AFC's.
Yeah.
Like the top 7 in the NFC is kind of like locked in. Like for real, it can get switched around here and there.
Yeah.
But
It's gonna be the same 7 teams.
What world do the fucking Falcons make it at 5-6? Like why? In the Falcons division, Falcons are 5-6, Saints are 5-6, Tampa Bay's 4-7. One of them teams are going to the fucking playoffs.
Yep. Yep. And one of them is probably going to face either Dallas or the Eagles.
Like come on, like this is what I'm saying about, bro. They gotta fix this shit. Like it's not like what,
bro. It's can you imagine? Can you imagine? There's 2 scenarios that could happen here, right? Say Philly wins the division.
Then they're gonna play the fucking.
So then Dallas is going to Atlanta.
Dallas is gonna get a fucking warm up game.
So Dallas is going to win 45-10.
Like this is like what? Why is this a thing that a playoff team under 500 makes the playoffs?
A playoff team under 500 is going to go against a team that's probably going to win 12 or more games.
Like, come on, this is horseshit.
I honestly
everybody
think
in the AFC has fucking winning records.
I honestly think Dallas is probably going to go 14-3. Or what is that the
Here's the fucking thing that gets me. Dallas wouldn't even play the Falcons because Dallas would
it,
go in as a lower seed than the Falcons because the Falcons win their division and Dallas doesn't.
no they would be the 4 seed, so 4 and the 5 seed play each other.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Yeah, because Tampa was the
Oh,
4
that's all
seed
right. I'm
last
good with
year.
that. I'm good
So
with
it was
that.
just what happened
Okay, yeah,
last year.
yeah.
Dallas went to
But
Tampa and beat
in
them.
what world? What world? If the playoffs started right now, in what world does the Dallas
If
with the
Dallas
fucking 8-3 record and the
if
Falcons with a 5-6 record, and the Falcons are a higher seed?
I don't understand it.
This is where I'm saying that winning the
The
division
the
shouldn't.
playoffs need to be restructured.
Yes, because there's no chance somebody from that division should even go to the playoffs. None. It should be the top 7 teams in the division. If 4 of them in the
And
same
or in the conference.
yeah, in the conference, if 4 of them are from one fucking division, then so be it. That means the other divisions should get better.
Yeah.
Like just because
That would be very interesting. That would probably make the playoffs more interesting.
yeah, because you would get the 7 best teams.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna that
You still keep the number 1 seed out of both
with
conferences, get the
somebody
bye
from the
week.
NFC South going into the playoffs. That means a team that's better than them is missing the playoffs.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Not
teams that
very-
are better that would miss
That's
the
what I'm
playoffs.
saying. Like, come on now. Seahawks wouldn't make
Here's
it. Like,
here's the other scenario. It kind of goes in line with that first scenario. Well, not really the first scenario, because that's with Philly winning the division. Philly doesn't win their division. They go to Atlanta. They're most likely gonna. Everyone's gonna assume they're gonna dominate that game, right?
imagine they lose.
Exactly.
Bro, I'd die laughing.
The history that they have shown us this entire year is that they have struggled against losing teams. They have
Imagine
barely
being the team
beaten
that
losing
lost to
teams.
them. Imagine being the team that loses to the fucking Falcons in the playoffs.
Because if Dallas wins the division, Dallas will be the 2 seed. Because I'm pretty sure, I think they should be the 2 seed. Because I don't think the Lions are better than the Cowboys.
No.
And the Lions they looked bad against Green Bay.
Yeah.
Looked bad. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting how this plays out. But yeah, the Falcons are most likely gonna win this, which is fucking crazy.
Oh, I know. Side note, I know it's just taken away. Joe Flacco may be starting this week
For who?
for the Browns.
What the fuck?
DTR is out with he's on concussion protocol. So that means that Joe Flacco may be starting for the Browns this week. Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not retired yet.
He was retired.
He came out of, oh my god.
They just signed Joe Flacco this week.
What the fuck?
They just signed him when
Interesting.
Chase got hurt for this when he got his shoulder surgery. They signed Joe Flacco as a backup, and now DTR is hurt. All right, let's get into the next segment. We're running late.
Yes. All right. Power rankings. The Eagles and the Niners, they stay put at 1 and 2. The Eagles are 1, Niners are 2. Baltimore jumps from 5 to number 3.
How you figure that?
Yeah.
I honestly think. Oh no, never mind. They are above the Chiefs. Never mind.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know why I thought you said Chiefs 1 or 2. I'm tripping.
No.
Okay. Yeah, they should definitely. They got the best record in the AFC. They should be there.
Oh yes, for sure. Even though they won, the Chiefs dropped a spot. I would say solely because of the Ravens have a better record.
Yeah.
They're at 3. Moving up a spot, then rounding up the top 5 is Cowboys.
Oh, finally they broke the top 5.
They got back to the top 5. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them being at top 5. I would probably put them over the Chiefs. I think. I think Dallas's defense is 10 times better than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have struggled here late. I think our offense is better as well. The Chiefs do have a better quarterback. I'll say that, but
Honestly, it looks like they're going by because you got to think Philly, San Fran best records in the. No, you guys,
we have the same exact record.
but they beat you.
We didn't play the Chiefs.
No, Niners. I meant.
Yeah.
The first 1 and 2 best records in the NFC, 3 and 4 best records in the AFC.
Yeah.
And then 5, 6 the next in the NFC and AFC.
Yep. Right under the Cowboys are the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
At 7, they moved up the spot. The Lions dropped from 4 to 7 because of their loss to Green Bay. Moving up a spot is Jacksonville. They're at 8. They were 9 last week. Making the biggest leap and is finally in the top 10 first time all season are the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And we didn't even creep in. We jumped right to 9.
Y'all didn't creep in. Y'all jumped. That was a huge jump. And staying point where they were despite losing in overtime are the Bills.
I don't think the Bills should be in the top.
No, 10. I think Houston should be here.
Yeah, I don't think Browns, because Browns are struggling right now with that quarterback issue.
Yeah, I think Houston should be there.
I agree with you. I don't think the Bills should be there though.
That rounds up the top 10 of the power rankings. Now we can wrap up this episode, but before that, go ahead and let the people know.
No, hold up. Pittsburgh's in top 10 power rankings. Goddamn right.
All
right.
First time all year.
Last week, I had to take my crown back. I won. I won 11-5. Freak went 9-7. So for the season, I'm 107-73. Freak still hasn't even broke 100 wins. He's at 98-82. Hey, it's hard being on top. And the bad part is this week there's not really any games that could go either way. There's not many. There's maybe one.
All right, Thursday night. Seattle versus Dallas.
I already know who you're going.
I got Cowboys.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. The start of the Sunday games. Chargers travel to New England.
I went Chargers.
Yeah, I got Chargers here too.
I'm not betting on fucking New England for shit.
Hell no. All right, next game.
I think they're losing on purpose so they can get them picks.
Yep. Next game. Arizona versus Steelers.
Steelers winning.
Yeah, of course. Steelers. Easy. Next game, Indianapolis versus Tennessee.
We'll go Colts.
Yeah, I went Colts as well. All right, next game, Denver versus Houston.
This is one of the only games I could think could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Texans are going to win.
Yeah, the Texans?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Broncos.
I knew you would.
I'm going Broncos.
It's a game that could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
The way the Broncos have been playing lately.
Yeah. All right, next game should be an easy win for Detroit, but who knows? Detroit versus New Orleans.
Wrong. They've proved us wrong before. I went Lions.
You went Lions? Yeah, so did I. All right, next game, Atlanta travels to New York to take on the Jets.
This is another one I think could go either way because both teams are ass. But I went Falcons.
Yeah, I went Falcons as well. All right, last early game. Miami versus Washington.
I went Miami.
And I went Dolphins as well. All right. Start the 3 o'clock games. Carolina versus Tampa.
I think Tampa Bay's going to take it.
Yeah, I got Tampa though. All right, here comes probably the game of the week. San Francisco versus Philly.
I went Rams.
Huh?
Oh, you said San Francisco. Wow, what the fuck? I'm tripping. I went 49ers. Ah, bro, don't even. I'm tripping. I went 49ers.
Yeah, I went Niners.
You were talking, and I was looking at the game I have wrote down somewhere. Yeah.
Huh?
All right. So the last game, I went Rams.
The last game you went Rams. I went
Rams versus
Cleveland here.
Browns. See, all right. I'm just gonna give you a heads up. Starting quarterback's not there. Myles Garrett's hurt. Myles Garrett may not play. Just a heads up. Hold up. Let me look real quick, actually, because Myles Garrett is the reason that I picked Rams. If Myles Garrett's not playing, the way the Rams played last week,
On Monday, it said he avoided a serious shoulder injury.
all right, hold up. Here's it. They said he struggled to put his shirt on after the game. He said he heard it pop in his shoulder, and his left arm was in a sling following the game. They said no structural damage. He just they say so he's one of them game he's if he can play with the pain, he's gonna play. So he'll probably play. Because I don't
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah,
tough motherfucker, bro.
I got Cleveland.
I'm still gonna go with the Rams and say fuck it. I don't think I think the Rams can put up more points than the Browns offense.
All right, Sunday night, Kansas City versus Green Bay.
I went KC.
All right, last game, Cincinnati versus.
I went the Jags. All right, that's all of them.
All right, that wraps up episode 13. Again, we appreciate everyone that tunes in.
Yes, sir.
Hope you guys had a wonderful Black Friday and Thanksgiving and enjoy week 13.
Yeah, and make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good shit.
Yeah. We're out. Later.
Later.